All right, it says we are live, and this time it was Dragon Larry. It was actually Floyd's fault. Susie can vouch for that. He's been a real jerk back there, and he's had his snacks and everything. So I don't know what's.
I had never heard him yell so much.
Got quiet now. He's going to make a liar out of me. How are you doing, Susie?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a rough day, animal day, rough animal day, but.
You started to say something about your rabbit. Was that it?
No, that was just an irritant that he didn't want to go back into his pen. Okay. So I couldn't let the dogs in the back, so I let them out front. But the dogs, when I let them in, like Max, the male, gets this whirlwind of energy, very happy energy, but he's a very powerful dog, and he jumps on me, and there's no, the more I say stay or down, he like comes at me more, and he hurt me today, and I just lost it. I was like, I'm calling shelters, and I called K9 Academy and said something has to happen. Like I was a mess. I feel like I failed him as a trainer because he's trained about 95% of the time. I can put his food down, and he's so food motivated, and say stay. And he won't budge. He'll shake, he'll saliva, but he won't budge until I say go. Or I'll say sit, and he sits. I say come, he comes. I stand, like all that. But it's just these couple times a day where I call him like the Tasmanian devil-like. And today it got so out of control. And the more I said down, he kept jumping higher. And then he was biting my hand like I had food in it. And even when I have food, he doesn't bite me. So I was like, and then he accidentally knocked over my granddaughter. So that was the straw. So I called the K9 Academy, waiting to see how many thousands of dollars they're going to say. So it's a joke that I even called them. But I got to do something.
Sometimes
something has to give. They're Labradors. They're good dogs.
If you can find someone that's a trainer that trains trainers. Oh, Floyd.
That's what I need. I need to be trained.
Well, no, that trains trainers, and they have students. I mean, we have a lady like that comes to the Ark. She hadn't been there in a couple of weeks because was sick, and then she's on vacation. But hey, Coro. But anyway, she comes and teaches her students like 2 hours once a week. And when we have new dogs, she gets them going. But the other dogs, she's got them all sitting and staying and down and over. And so just watching her, I've brought some of that home to my dogs. Yazzie doesn't
cool.
Anybody. He's like, yeah, right. But got 3 new Beagle mixes. Well, one got adopted today. They picked it up right away.
Well, that's what I figure. I figure the problem is me, and that I'm not doing something correct or consistent.
Well, with
something, I just need to be trained on how to train.
Labs are real hard. I know that.
Oh,
I know that, and I think it's until like 2 years old they really regress.
But 95% of the time, they are the sweetest dogs on earth.
Wow. Caleb says trains his own dogs.
Caleb, I could use some help. You live in Pennsylvania?
Oh, that reminds me. I don't know why it reminded me, Caleb, maybe young people, but that guy that I said I was subscribed to the other night, and you asked him how old he was.
Yeah.
Teenage guy. That's not who I thought it was.
Okay.
Him at all, because when I clicked over there, it said no. I wasn't subscribed, so I subscribed. Then I looked at the video, and I'm like, that's not who I thought it was.
Yeah, and I know he's a young child.
Yeah. I don't think he's even the age he gave you, but I watched the one video that some people need to see this and on. It was like watching one of my videos. I couldn't hear it, but
yeah, mine too in the beginning. Oh my gosh.
Probably in here listening at me. What an idiot. But
yeah, that's good. It's good feedback.
Yes.
Because if it's not pleasant to the ears, it doesn't matter what else is going on. People are going to click off.
Lucky Stone said labs don't know their size.
You're not kidding. Like one is 65 pounds, the other one's 70 pounds, and they're both stronger than me. And that makes me sad that they don't do exactly what I say when I say. Like that's my expectation.
It's 2 years. Dragon Lair says once a lab hits 2 years, they're fine, but till then they're crazy puppies.
They're 1.5 years, and they are crazy. And I go for a walk with them every day, and we go outside and we train all the time. And
Tommy boy, Silver Creek. So
Hey, but
they were.
anyway, that's how my day was going.
Oh God.
So I was very happy that and the fact that John was late, so we couldn't go to my party that I wanted to go to. It's a but at least I would have been a mess anyway, because right now I feel like I'm on the verge of crying anyway. So
Well,
it's
you
one of those days that just pushed me to that my hose broke. So I have tortoises and ducks to change the water and everything outside and no water. I was like, I can't even. That's what I felt like. I can't even. So that's not, and it's all privilege problems. Trust me. I get it. All privilege problems. But it made me feel very weak.
something happened today, and I was like, I've been trying to get people to help me mow the yard at the Ark and clean the gutters. The insurance won't renew till we do some of this stuff, cut down a tree, and I'm going to be 69,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't be up on roofs and stuff. I'd be on my own. But anyway, they've started helping some. But I was thinking today, the kind of problems I have. I'm working at a shelter that's paid for, and I'm the um, director of it. Just all that, and I'm putting my time and money and stuff in here, and people are living in garbage.
I know. That's why I said it. I really do recognize that it's a privilege problem, but it still feels bad when I feel so sad. Like, and I know it's situational, but
Lucky Stone said we had two labs as a child. One was Jano Mama and Mama Dog. One was a silly, clumsy goofball, not bad, just too big for their brain.
that's Max. He is always happy-go-lucky, but he's big, he's strong, and he's rough. But he's happy. These are never aggressive. I've never seen, unless they're going after my chickens, I've never seen aggression, ever.
I've started calling, his name's Benny, one of those three beagle hounds. They're like my Daniel. I don't know if y'all remember him. He passed a couple years ago. A long leg beagle. They're like that. And one of them, JR, reminds me of Daniel, but I have 5 dogs. I can't. But one of them Benny started, he just does anything. He doesn't think 2 seconds ahead of what's going to happen or anything like that. And it's cute. It's funny, but sometimes he gets himself fixes, messes.
And I have done the shock collar, and training them is so great. If I'm holding it, they don't have to do anything. Like, I never push a button because they just do everything I say when I say it. But if it's not in my hand, they act like they're not trained. So I think that's like a crutch that I've depended on. And if it's not charged or something, I'm screwed. I need these dogs to listen without that crutch.
I can do that at the Ark with the water bottle. We never have to squirt it. And
Right.
if I pick up like the great big tall hand sanitizer bottle and hold it up, and they stop barking or whatever I want them to do.
Wow. Yeah, that's Sophie. I hold it up to her. She's just thrilled because she thinks she's getting a shower. Like, it's not a threat to her. She's like, but it distracts her from screaming, the 5 p.m. scream,
Lloyd loves it. Oh my God, he loves the water.
So does Sophie.
He likes the reptile room, I think, because it's warmer. He likes to sleep in there now, which is fine.
Wow, that's nice. That's interesting.
I'm sure it drives the snakes crazy at night when they're all lurking around. But yeah, he knows when I'm going to be squirting. I got me one of those great big jugs with the hose on it, so I can do some squirting in those habitats and enclosures now. But he wants to be squirted. I did a video of him not long ago, a short or a reel or something. He was soaking wet, and people were asking me, is he sick? Is something wrong with him? I'm like, no.
I saw that. That's great. I related instantly because that's Sophie's happy place.
Yeah. Hey, Vincent. Yeah, he loves it, and he holds his wings up, give me more. And I've got my phone like this. I told Susie because Sam, you were supposed to help me get it unlocked, the orientation unlocked, or send the tutorial. Sam has to do everything for me.
That's cool.
Anything psych, anything technical. Psych
Do
stuff.
you want to see my pothead that I'm working on?
Yes, let me blow you up. Hold on.
It's not animal related.
That's all right. We haven't talked about much animal stuff. Oh, wow.
Are they not cute? And I got little 2-inch or 1.5-inch net pots that I use for the pond and put air ferns in them. And
Those,
it almost looks like little hair.
you've seen, yeah, you're old enough. You've seen that. Yeah, you're old.
Take me down.
You've seen the little ladies that used to be like shoulders and heads, and they were about that tall, and they were painted pretty and had little pearls on.
Yes.
Everybody, my mother had one, my granny had one.
Yeah. That's what these reminded me of.
It did me when I saw them.
I love them. I absolutely love them. There's one that's doing the. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. That reminds me of like a satanic symbol or something. I don't know why, but that. Or the.
Yeah.
If there's a statue like that, I stay away from it because I just get freaked out. I'm superstitious about some things.
Me too. Me too. Vincent, the story is that I volunteer at a shelter that's.
Oh, yeah. What's your story? Not everybody knows your story.
Well, I just volunteer there, and it's a no-kill shelter. It's all volunteer, and crap rolls uphill. You can insert the appropriate word there. So I'm the director, and I'm the president of the board for only 22 years, president of the board. But anyway, we're small, and we're a not-for-profit, and we can take up to 18 dogs, but it gets kind of crowded at that point.
How many?
18.
Wow. Okay.
It's an old house that was built in 1900. So, and we're supposed to have a dozen cats, but sometimes we have a baker's dozen. So we try to do what we can. Our local animal control, the city is a high kill shelter. So
I'm big still.
yes, and I pull those 3 beagles I'm talking about. I pulled.
Yes.
Do what?
I said, I'm big still, and you said yes, and you kept right on going. I'm like, okay.
I thought you said something about a bake sale.
I said I'm big still.
Oh. I ain't paying no attention to you.
No, you're not.
You're big still?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's just you and me when it's that way, They preferred it.
This is much better.
And you got the pearls on too. So
I do. I fixed them. I told you that, right? They were broken for a while, and a part of me was broken, and I actually fixed them myself, which I didn't think I had it in me, and I did.
There you go. That probably saved you a jeweler's fee that was
I would never.
Ridiculous.
Never pay a jeweler any more than I would pay a doctor. I stay away from those people.
I started to say, how do you do? I used to go to a doctor in Jacksonville, and this lady would come. It was a cardiac doctor way back then. But anyway, this lady would seem like we were on the same rotation for appointments, and she would bring eggs and vegetables and stuff.
Oh.
It was Dr. Lena something, the lady. She was Indian, the doctor. And she would tell her, I'd hear her in the room like, now don't bring me anything else because things spoil and we can't eat all that stuff. And that she couldn't make her copay or something. So
how could she not eat all that stuff?
I know, right? I'm like, I'll take this flat of those eggs. She would bring her.
My chicken did start laying eggs again. Very happy about that. I don't know which one, but one of them started laying eggs again, so I was very happy.
What color eggs do they have?
These are white. Isn't that weird? So I got regular white eggs, but when you go to crack them, they're very hard to crack.
Right.
But I guess it's just being fresh eggs.
You must give them the calcium.
We do. And I crush up their eggs and put it back into their feed. And I put the crushed eggshells in the tortoises' food also.
Well, Dragon,
because they're getting so big.
Q, my strand of pearls broke too.
I can fix them for you. Yeah.
You should tell them about that picture you sent me, Dragon Lair. I won't unless you say anything about it. It's a mystery. Unless somebody hacked him. I was just like, well, that looks relaxing or something. It was a crazy picture he sent me. Now we only have love here. Uh-oh, kiss and make up. There's drama going on.
No drama. I got 4 daughters. I don't tolerate drama.
Oh.
Bob, have you gotten any new animals in the last month?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what did you get? Just to refresh me.
A week ago, last Saturday, I got that carpet python.
That's right.
Yeah, and y'all have seen that because I've been in there. Gave it its second meal, and I wanted to try. I got a couple of the frozen thawed rats, the small rats, the pups that had been feeding it, and I have so many mice now, and I don't want to take them back and get credit for them. I would rather make sure they have a
Yeah.
better ending than what I can imagine for them. But anyway.
So do you have any animals now that don't have to force feed, or that you have to force feed? Because I know there at a time that there was a couple.
No, nothing
Thank
at all.
goodness.
The only one that I'm still having to manipulate how they eat is that the little beautiful orange sun glow king snake, the Florida king snake that I showed one time a couple of weeks online. I still have to use like a Pop-Tart box and put the little frozen thawed pinky in there with him overnight, and that's the only way
I'm really shocked at all your snakes. You still don't have a hognose. I'm kind of happy because I'd be very jealous.
What? Sometimes people like different things, and I guess I developed a prejudice, like I prejudge. I don't like those sand boas either.
Ah, really?
And hognoses burrow a lot. They want to get under stuff a lot, and it's just I think they're unique, and I like the wild ones, like the eastern wild ones, really cool. I think they're cool, but I just don't want to keep them.
Okay, no, that's cool. I'm just curious. Like, you got lots of snakes and all different kinds.
Trash cat's praying over your daughters.
Thank you.
Here we go. Vincent says he volunteers for a small rescue started by a young person, new generation. Oh, that's awesome. Everything's getting better. I think Stromar and Susie recently my optimism, so I'll tone it down. Okay.
What? No, you can keep your optimism going, man. Keep it going.
Hognose. Well, you could get a hognose and name it Susie, because she snakes. And I told Dragon Lair, one reason I was messaging him is it was you, wasn't it, Tommy Boy, that found a snake, and you said it looked like a corn, but it wasn't. You described it, and I couldn't think of the name of it. I bet you I'm not going to be able to now. Dragon Lair, what did I send you a picture of it? And I said, this is what he got. Jesus, the memory, We got them both in Texas, Western in our area.
Everything is going to be okay, Vincent. Do you know that deep down?
Craig's not liking winter down under. Bob, you know better. I wouldn't be rude to anyone.
It was a Western rat snake?
No, the one that
Silver Creek is for something else. Okay.
The one that he found, and he was describing it, but he knew it wasn't. Hey, Taylor's Aquatics just received Pam's art.
Only Oscar in the house. What?
Did not know that I had that much coming to me. One said it was a gift from you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's been a long time ago. It's been a couple years ago, Daniel. Yeah, I have some on the way apparently, and it's supposed to arrive Saturday. So,
Daniel, are you coming to the Bucks County Aquarium Society this Thursday? We have a great speaker. He's going to be speaking on the CARES program. I want to try to implement the CARES program into our clubhouse, into our Bucks County Bucks County Aquarium Society. And I don't know enough about it, but so the speaker should be really good. It's like, because when anybody can bring in fish and say they're CARES fish, like who actually looks at the fish and say, yep, that's a CARES species, or yep, that's a hybrid. So I'm hoping to get some insight on how to implement the actual CARES program into our club. So I think it should be an exciting speaker.
Dragon Lair remembers. He said it's the eastern milk snake.
Oh, the milk snakes. Yes.
Tommy, if you'll look those up, they're different morphs. It's not any of the ones like Pueblan or the ones that are brightly colored with stripes and circles on them. It's the one that looks like a corn snake.
Yeah, Silver Creek, we got copperheads here in Pennsylvania.
We used to have a ton of them here, and then I have a black king snake, or I did, and they disappeared.
You had a what? What made him disappear?
Black king snake.
Oh.
That's why they're the king.
Ah.
Hey, Ro. Welcome, welcome. I've been following, enjoying your stuff since I've been following you.
I've always followed Raul. Y'all, baby. Well, he's like a good guest.
He was a guest.
I mean, a new, like, again, guest.
Well, he was going to do a part 2. That's not a bad idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh, it was a Texas rat snake.
Raul.
Speaking of that, on Tennessee Fish Mafia, we're going to have, it's been exactly to the day, tomorrow or Sunday, since we had, oh my God, I can't remember anything today. The guy that has the, Mark Shelley, that has the shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
He has outside tubs now. I think he said like 11,000 gallons of outside tubs raising shrimp. So I can't wait to see that.
So that was a year ago?
6 months.
I was going to say that would mean I've had my shrimp 6 months and they're still alive. That sounds a little more doable than I've had them a year. Yeah. But I'm still happy they're alive, and I do have seen babies.
Awesome.
My first time being successful.
Mine didn't make it. I was afraid they wouldn't. So I got like the Skittles ones and thought,
yes,
the best chance. I think they really have done something with Huawei. I don't see him. He had some threats in there, so they must have got him.
Oh yeah, you and your wife should come. It's a fun family night out. We each have a speaker. We have a small auction every month. We have prizes. We have snack bar. And a lot of people meet like an hour and a half before at the local restaurant right there. I just can never make it that early. The Churchville Inn. Everybody's welcome. I mean, everybody pays for their own, but everybody's welcome. That would make a fun night out with you and your wife.
It would. That's some sage advice, Vincent. I like that. I like that. Yeah. Very true. The Walmart took him. What was going on at Walmart? He said at the start of the stream he might be late because Walmart was.
Took him. What? Walmart taking people again?
Evidently.
No bueno. Can't trust those places. You want to see what else I made? Don't blow me up.
Don't. You act like I'd leave you up there forever or something.
I don't know if you could see this. It's just a little teeny tiny frog.
Not really. Y'all see
right here on top of the lid.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
It's so cute and little. I made that. I made a mold and then I made him, and now I can make as many little frogs. I can have an army of frogs if I want.
Cool.
Now, I have no reason for that, but I could. Sorry. Oh, it cracked me up sometimes.
Is it made out of resin?
Yeah, I did. I've been using this eco-friendly stuff. It's kind of like a cross between paper mache and cement.
Yeah.
So I've been using that a lot. Now that's why I had to take all these and rub wax into them, because there's no, this isn't resin. This is not epoxy. This is like a clay.
How's your turtle pond? Raul wants to know.
My turtle pond?
Yes.
My turtle pond is doing good. I took the red air slider out, Wilbur, because I noticed Gina, who is my yellow belly, both the same size, was swimming around all day looking behind her. And I'm like staring, trying to figure out what is going on, because she's swimming really fast, but like this. And then I see glimpses of Wilbur chasing her. They're both girls, so I wasn't worried about mating. I was worried about Wilbur being a little too aggressive. So I took him out and put him in my 2-tiered pond. So now he's up there, and she's in that 2,000-gallon pond with the koi.
Nice.
Yeah, so my pond is doing good. I've resolved to the fact that I'm not going to be able to have beautiful plants and flowers in the pond, but around the pond, because the turtles just chew up everything.
Right. That's their job. The frog father.
I can put that on a ring and you can be the frog father.
It'd even be cooler if you could. Pretty boy Floyd would wear. Oh, he's back there. He's
That's
just.
funny.
If he would wear a necklace with a frog on it. Where are you, Floyd? You're back there, but I can't see you on the screen. It's so small.
I like frog father, right? Me too.
I like that. And there's
Bob Kaler, speaking of your story, what did you do for a living?
what did I do for a
What
living?
do you do or what did you do?
I was an RN for many years. I think from the time I was 17, 22,
Nice.
he was a nurse.
My
And
one daughter is an RN.
yeah, most of it was critical care management, setting up. This was back in the 70s and 80s, like the first open heart ICU here at Erlanger, the big hospital campus here in Chattanooga, setting up outpatient surgery. I did a couple of those different places. And people would pay back then to move you and sign on bonus and crap, for stuff like that. And anyway, that's what I did. You'd never know it now, would you? Never know it now. And then the last 15, 16 years, I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee as a transplant case manager and did a lot of reviews for requests for different transplants. Um, and I was a CCM certified case manager, so I did a lot of patient
Oh,
counseling.
wow.
Yeah, disease management counseling and stuff like that. So, but sitting for 10 hours sucks. So I finally had to give it up just before I was 60.
Wow.
If everything's going to be locked up and you need assistance, there's just going to be that thing at the checkout.
Yeah, Caleb, they are invasive and they're not native to my area. And I have been rehomed 5 red ear sliders. So people get them, have them for 5, 6 years and don't want them anymore. And if you let them loose, they're going to outcompete. In my area, we have painted turtles. They're going to outcompete the painted turtles. And, like in the map turtles, they're just very, very invasive. So I would not recommend anybody having red ear sliders, especially not babies. I just can't believe how many people just keep rehoming them. If you've ever watched Rocky, now that was 30 years ago when the first Rocky came out. Something like that. He had 2 turtles, Cuff and Link. He still has those turtles today. I mean, they live a long time. And people get them because they're cute when they're little, and then they get the size of dinner plates, and they're like, what am I going to do with them? They can't keep them in a fish tank. So it's a tough road. It's hard because I love to encourage people. I love keeping turtles. I love my turtles and my tortoises, but some people are not suited they're not short-term pets. They're not 10-year, 20-year pets. They're like having Floyd. Floyd's going to live for a long time.
He already has.
Yeah.
Oh, Vincent, can you give one of them Sonny G's info? He's got something he needs looked at. A spot. No, I'm teasing.
I got the spot somewhere.
I graduated. I hadn't even passed my state board exam. People started asking me, and it was always the women in my family. Like, I've got this thing, and I'm like, I don't want to hear. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Go to the doctor. Jesus. Oh, that trash cat food, huh?
No. That's right.
If you really do have a spot, I think you're just goofing, but I can send you a link and we can do a poll and see what it is. What's that spot?
Caleb, why are you afraid to put the turtle in the pond? That would be the best place for the turtle if your pond has an enclosure around it. If it cannot get out. I have 3 enclosures. So even if one of my turtles gets out of the first gate, they're still contained to my yard. So that's the key. A pond is perfect. A pond in your backyard, but build a little fence, like a 2-foot or 3-foot fence. And then maybe 4 foot out or around your perimeter of your actual yard, put another fence so that they can get out, but they can't get out. Does that make sense? But yeah, they belong in ponds.
He doesn't want her to have to compete with everybody.
Compete. Oh, you have a lot of turtles in your pond? Yeah, he wouldn't be competing. He would eat everything. You would outcompete.
Oh God, Daniel, that was a hellhole. Let me tell you. I came fresh from Tennessee, worked in pediatric and NICU too over in Knoxville. And then I went to New York, and oh my God.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, no.
Small world. Look at that.
It's like third world stuff, Susie. I worked in not CBICU, medical ICU, like heart attacks and stuff like that. And like I would get a patient that somebody else had had for 2 days, like on a ventilator, and they'd had a heart attack or whatever. And you're supposed to be assessing like their circulation and stuff. You
Right.
have to their nail beds and have to see their toes. They'd have on the damn socks, stinky socks. They came in
Oh my.
to go on, and they'd be charting on them every day that about the refill and the capillary refill. And I'm like, this is messed up. All kind
And that was in Brooklyn?
Methodist
Wow.
hospital.
Alishan says, I assume that you knew the late Joe Graffagnino. Did you know the late Larry Jinks? Larry Jinks.
Jerry Links.
Maybe
That's
he did.
Good snack. Larry Jinks.
Caleb says she's the biggest turtle that I have right now, but also the pond is a good choice. It is a good choice. Where else are you going to put it? What size? Because an aquarium, the glass in itself is going to be a deterrent. Unless what I did is I put some vinyl on the outside of the glass so that the turtle doesn't see that it's clear, and they can only see when they're up basking. And a 75-gallon was okay for the red earth slider, but she was more than 12 inches wide. So like it couldn't be a 55-gallon, if that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, my daughter, I go to my daughter for medical advice too.
Yeah. I still enjoy like case managing family and friends and the animals at the Ark. Oh my God, I love advocating for them. Like who better to advocate for than a rescued cat or dog?
Yeah.
Healthcare is a hellhole. You got it.
And you got to be careful, Caleb. Red earth sliders, it's their personality. Some turtles are very fine with other turtles. Others, you don't want to put them in any kind of enclosure with small ones because they'll just bully them to death. And red earth sliders are known to have some bullying power to them. I mean, I have two that are sweet as can be, but Wilbur, he is as nasty as all get out.
Busted.
That's a big turtle to be picking on someone. I don't care what size the turtle is. Oh, look at Floyd.
Some coffee, and I do let him have a couple of sips, but he can't reach that far down. Here, let me turn it. Come on. There.
Oh,
Down in there.
You sure you want him on caffeine? Ooh.
Susie's in your business, isn't she? He's looking at
I am. I heard him screaming.
You don't want any coffee? Because I'm trying to do a live stream here. He's wanting to play. That's what he wants. Get your drink. You don't want any coffee, you silly boy. There you go.
Yeah, Daniel knew both of them.
Larry passed from. He's a top breeder fish in New Jersey. Daniel knew both, yeah.
So what kind of turtle is this?
96 degrees where you're at, Sam.
That is a cute turtle. That's what it is. That's the cutest turtle ever. But not as cute as mine. Wait a minute. Can I show you my turtle I got as a gift? Vincent, and am I allowed to say where I got this? This is not the cutest turtle ever.
It is cute.
Look at that.
Wait a minute. Does it have ears or no? Those are legs.
Yeah, that is it's a sea turtle because they have these kind of flippers.
Yeah.
I got to keep it in here away from the dogs. They are not to touch this.
No, you know what? You could have a little hog nose that you could tuck in there.
Oh, John Bag of Donuts would never know.
You'd never. How are they going to know? Do you ever see those
If
videos?
he went in this enclosure, he would never know. Look at that. He doesn't look at my gecko.
Do you ever see that? Hear that background that on some of the videos? They say, "How are they going to know? How are they? Gonna
Yeah. They're not going to know. How are they going to know?
know?"
Oh, yes. Okay. So Vincent has a friend, Julie, who makes these. And he gave this to me. How cute is that? And I got it the day before World Turtle Day.
Oh,
And I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I love my turtles and my tortoises. And I do love my dogs. They just frustrated me today because I got my feelings hurt.
that's not just on TikTok. Susie doesn't go on TikTok, and she
Nope.
knows of it.
I do not go on TikTok. Super cute. What would be a good size enclosure for my sulcata tortoise? Outside, my sulcata tortoise has my 10-foot by 12-foot shed for the enclosure part. They pretty much have my whole yard. Like, how old is your sulcata? It's gonna get this big. It will be able to plow through plywood. It would be able to plow through your drywall. Like, you're gonna want to make maybe like a brick structure and something, because they love to dig down. They will dig. So if you could dig down first and put on like a metal cage underneath, and then fill it back up with dirt and pack it down, and then set their like enclosure over that, so that way they can dig down but not out. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I can't believe you have a sulcata. How big is he? How old is he? Inquiring minds want to know. Somebody told me to sneak a hognose. Oh yeah, sneak in a tricolor hognose. That's my favorite.
You saw the little albino red ear I was looking at,
Oh yes.
and somebody had already got it a week before. I was just.
And it was up for less than $100 too. That was amazing.
Oh, it was a cutie. She's 17 years old. Wow.
Who's 17? The sulcata?
Yeah,
How big? She's got to be at least 80 pounds, right?
getting big.
Yeah. Where do you keep her? Like, that's what I would do. If you haven't like an acre of land, I would brick up some walls so they can't get, so they stay safe. But I don't keep my sulcatas in an enclosure like I do the chickens, just because they have a doghouse that they go in it. As soon as the sun goes down, they're gone. They stay in there. They bury themselves. I have a lot of Timothy hay and some other stuff in there. And then it's got like a flap on it, like a shower curtain flap, so that if it does rain, the rain doesn't get in with the hay. But they roam my yard. I take Sophie's leftover, she like pulverizes her food, and I just throw it out over my porch. And the sulcatas and my cherry head come from, like, I don't know where they come from, but they come and they all eat it.
Huh.
And my hibiscus, I planted hibiscus throughout my yard because they love those leaves and those flowers, and dandelion flowers. I just pluck them off and throw them down, pluck them off and throw them down. Yeah.
Pounds.
She's about 80 to 90 pounds. Haven't weighed it lately. That is so awesome. Oh my God, she loves hibiscus. Yes. Yes, I can't plant it anymore in the ground. I actually have a cinder block up on end, and I fill that with sand on the bottom, then dirt, and then I plant it in there so that they can reach the leaves that are coming down but not get to the roots, because they were eating her right down to the root. They're right down to the root, man.
Now those hibiscus are a tropical plant, aren't they?
Yes, mine are annuals, so they flower all spring, summer, and fall, and then they're done. Where I know they sell perennial ones.
I think I don't know that I don't think they're hibiscus. They're like an old-fashioned plant my grannies have, and I have them in my yard.
Like Rose of Sharon's?
Rose of Sharon.
Yeah. Yes, they do. They look at my turtles love them just as much. I have them all around my pond. They love them just as much.
Yeah.
It's in the same family, I think.
They look almost the same.
Yes, they do.
Oh, 6 huge sulcatas. Wow.
He has them in a 150 by 150 pen fenced with hog panels. That's a good fence. Yes. And a small barn for winter. Yeah. A small shed would do fine for just one. You can even put a doggy door on the shed, but not a shower curtain, more of like you know how the industrial stores that have freezers have that real thick, use that so they can get in and out. Because they'll know if it's warm enough for them to come walk around, and when it's not, they'll be sleeping. That's so cool.
That is. I could have. I think about a sulcata sometimes, and I have a section of my yard it's a good sized section that's picket fence out back, and I used to let the dogs out, but Yazzie through the slants, he's so little. So,
well, don't buy one. I will give you one of mine.
Sulcata?
Yeah, I got 2 of them. They were rehomed to me by this guy who bought one for each of his sons, and by 3-4 years old, they were done with them. Like, what? So I have them both. One is Peanut, he's about this big, and the other one's Jelly, she's about that big. I told John from KG Tropical too, because he was talking about a sulcata. I'm like, I don't plan to keep these animals forever, and John's much younger than us, so I was like, don't buy one. I'll give you one. Just same with you. I will give you. I've got lots of tortoises here. I would give him.
I'm going to be 69 in a minute, so that might be something to think about.
Well, do you have Floyd and all them like taken care of in a will where they're going to go?
Yeah, but sulcata is a little different than fish type.
Somebody's going to have a yard or something. Yeah.
My great nephew would take them, I know, but he's got the one he got a couple years ago. Cole, and I know he would take it if I asked him to.
Sometimes it's easier. Like if you have 1 sulcata, 2 is not that much more.
Yeah,
but when you don't have any, 1 is a lot.
Yeah,
if you have one and you're already used to feeding them, like this farmer's market up here, the scraps that they throw away is enough food for my sulcatas. Like Elfish Tanks, hello all.
Hey, Melvin.
I want the snakes. Yeah, me too, Caleb.
Hey, Ethan.
How does it feel to want? Because I want some too.
Well, I'll let
John never get rid of the angle. I missed it.
What was it?
I can never get rid of Angie. Oh no, because that's your pet. These were rehomed to me. They're my pets. They're my pets now, but I also know that being in northeast or southeast Pennsylvania, it's no place to raise 2 sulcatas. Like one would be all right. Like, and I could put the one in the basement and let it run wild down there during the winter, kind of like. But 2 of them now, it's getting tough. So that's why I said now I wouldn't. I would be heartbroken, obviously, but I care more about where these turtles are going to end up. Same thing with my water turtles. Right. If somebody wants one, and same thing with my bearded dragons. I got a girlfriend that says, I really want a bearded dragon for my kids. And I said, you can have any one of mine. Just know that if you don't want them anymore, give them back to me.
I'm the same way about my leopard geckos.
Yeah.
They were all, like 2 were given to me different times at the store because she said the guy was going to get rid of them. And they're great. They're fine. They're real friendly and they're beautiful. And then one was brought to the Ark, and we weren't really taking reptiles back then. It's been over a year, and so I brought it. But I have 3, and I'd rather have snakes or something in that space.
Hey, Bruiser. Yeah, Critter is saying that a lot of people don't get it. Any turtle or tortoise, what they get into is a lifetime pet. Like if you have them now and you're a kid, you're going to have them through college. You're going to have them through marriage. You're going to have them through divorce. You're going to have them through grandkids. It's a lifetime thing. And sulcatas are not only a lifetime thing, they're large. They get large and big.
Hey, Bruiser, welcome.
So, yeah, I agree with that.
George, howdy, howdy. We've got about 10 minutes if we go an hour.
Okay, Vincent says, how, Bob, you and Susie, how do you come to acquire? I think mine, I could speak to mine, is from doing my YouTube, and people locally that saw him is like, oh my gosh, I got a turtle I can't take care of. Do you know where I could put him, or I could just let him go? And I'm like, don't let him go. Please don't let him go. I'll make a pond for him. I'll find a pond for him. And that's how it started. And my nephew started with my nephew with the bearded dragon. And then when I walked in the store and they had a silky bearded dragon, and they didn't want it, there wasn't selling, I said, I'll take it. So they were kind enough to give them to me for my care. And what are some of the other ones? Now, the cherry head I bought. I love my cherry head. I love my cherry head tortoises, my redfoot tortoises. I think those are the only ones that I actually bought in my one painted turtle.
Those are expensive, kind of.
Yeah. But acquiring them back when I had a job, when I had a career, I should say, it was no big deal. I couldn't imagine now getting a cherry head like.
I know, $250, $300.
But I'm really glad that I have the 3 that I have, and maybe someday they'll grow up and have babies.
Right.
Because I don't think they're invasive. And when it costs that much to buy, you'd be surprised how many people think twice before buying them. But
Right.
you can get a sulcata super cheap. It's like they shouldn't be super cheap. I get that they have babies a lot, but they shouldn't be so cheap that anybody can get one and then decide 2 years later, not for me.
They at the Repticons, they usually start with them like 150, the babies, the little babies.
Yeah.
Then the second day they usually are 100, and then by the end of the day they're $50. So.
He said bearded dragons and iguanas are tied for the #1, right? And some of mine that I got, the one bearded dragon and 2 of my leopard geckos had metabolic bone disease when they were rehomed to me, because the person didn't understand that the UV light, just because it shines, doesn't mean it's holding any UV value.
Right.
So their bones got real soft and crumbly, and then I built them back up, but their bones have stayed like this. Like, it's so sad. So sad. Like, I can't even, and I get it. I get it that they're hard to take care of. They shouldn't be thought of as easy pets or something that a child could take care of, because I don't think a child can get a UV light whenever they want, or I don't know. Maybe
But they're not cheap either.
No.
I replaced all of mine like 3 or 4 months ago, and I always keep it on my phone, like, to remind me. And I just
want the cherry head to cohab with my green iguana. How great would that be?
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised, Dragon Lair. Ben,
what do you say? Oh yeah, 35 exactly. They still are that cheap, and people are buying them because they're the cutest little things ever. I'm like, oh my gosh! If you want a tortoise, unfortunately, most of them are wild caught. But the Russian tortoises or the Herman's tortoise,
yeah,
they stay a manageable size. You know, they stay a manageable size. I think that, my personal opinion, is a better choice. I don't think people understand that a sulcata can just walk through a wall.
right.
Like, strength.
The very first snake I got, Vincent, was, I guess, 6 years or something ago, and maybe not that long ago. No, it's not been that long. No, not at all. All I had was the same thing you have, Susie. Can't think of anything. My first reptile, skink.
The blue-tongued skink.
Yeah, blue-tongued skink, and I loved it. And then one of our fish fam members, Nathan, with Sand Creek Aquatics, passed, and he had a small, normal ball python, classic ball python.
That started it.
Chattanooga Ed and Fisher and Fever James went over to Mississippi to get Nathan's tanks and fish and stuff. His family wanted somebody to get them because they didn't want them. And Ed brought me back the snake, and I met him somewhere. They went to one of the local fish stock stores too. Rob, that's on here sometimes. But anyway, I met him and got the snake, and I named him Sandy, and I still have him. He's a big boy now. But that was the very first snake. So that's what started me with the rehome and like stuff like that. And like I said, the others came, like I go in the local store and the girl says, don't tell so-and-so, the owner, but he's going to get rid of this one or that one, and do you want them? And I said, yeah, I don't want them to be let go or killed or thrown away. Or
Right. And that's what they do. They'll euthanize them.
yes.
Yeah.
Remember the Oscar I had that was so beat up? It finally died, but it grew all of its fins back and all. But he wouldn't take it out of the. Ethan knows who I'm talking about if he's still here, but he wouldn't take it out of the tank, and he's like, I just don't have any place to put it. And I'm like, I can see 20 places that would be better than being killed.
Yeah.
He gave me one of those, and he survived a long time.
Yeah. My female Jack Dempsey, she was all beat up. They said we're gonna put her to sleep. And I took her. It didn't look like she had an eye, and she had no fins. And now she is in my 180 competing against all those other fish, and she's amazing. So I'm so glad I did that. I thought I was taking her for her last few weeks of life.
My Jack Dempsey, I went in PetSmart down in Chattanooga like 3 years ago, and there were pieces of fish all over the place. And I forget what kind of, I think they were an African cichlid, but they had put Jack Dempsey babies like an inch in there, inch and a half. And they had slaughtered them overnight. The only one left was at the intake, sucked up to a hang on back, no fins, had her eye.
Oh my gosh.
I want it. They're like, we can't sell it because it's going to die. And I'm like, whoever did this should be fired. All of those babies.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got the manager, and the manager sold her to me. She was, what was her name? She's the mother of all of my Jack Dempsey's, the 70 or 75 I have.
Wow.
That's on here, Fish Mania, is where I went and picked out the dad for her. She passed eventually, but I've still got tons of her babies, adults. And in a school they don't ever spawn, so
wow.
never do, never have. And she only did that once. We had a Florida box turtle. Hey Nathan, the other day, so I fed it some strawberries. Yeah, I learned when I did wildlife rehab 20 years ago for a couple of years that turtles love red things. They love red.
The problem with box turtles, and I think it's a little unique to box turtles, maybe it's all turtles, but I know it's very strong in the box turtle. They have this internal GPS. Now, when you take it from its home, it will forever try to find its way back home. It's like living a torturous life. Now, it's different if it was captive, born and bred, but I know in Pennsylvania, you're not allowed to be in possession of box turtles for that reason. The eastern box turtle.
Is June going live? I was just watching to see if there was a link. I saw her in here earlier, but I didn't think to ask her. But anyway, we've been in here almost an hour. It's 8:30.
Okay, we've been babbling.
And it was fun. I enjoyed it. But I know you're tired, and I'm hungry. So time to get something to eat. Well, thank you, Susie. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy you. So
my pleasure.
Skipper what did he say he was doing? Setting up a swimming pool or something tonight?
Swimming pool or barbecue or something fun.
Yeah, he had something better to do.
Oh, no, he was cleaning the pool, I think. He was doing work. It wasn't all fun.
Sam's still driving. We're going to have to dock your pay, Sam, for not being here.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Do we have the link for June? Is she going? She was in here earlier. Guys, go over to Only Oscars and see if she's got a live stream going.
I can't. I think I would lose this if I tried.
Yeah, I think you will. You'll cut us all off. Sam, stop chatting. Drive.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, everybody. See you Sunday, Tennessee Fish.